going to discuss about this lens and my new zoom lens, means this lens. So these are the two lenses today we will discuss about. We will figure it out how these lenses are best at their own places, and which lens you can choose as a beginner. We will discuss about those things. So let's get started and start our discussion about these two beautiful lenses. So guys, let's talk about this old lens what I have been using from last couple of years. This is Nikon's 770 to 300 mm lens. As a beginner, if you want to choose a small compact telephoto lens which is lightweight and do the job for you, then this is the option for you, because it is not too costly, you can afford it easily, but it is too good lens. I have been capturing birds and butterflies from few years. So these are the images I have captured, these birds and the butterflies I have captured with this lens. You can see the sharpness is too good, and its VR is very good, and the image quality and everything is good about this lens. I cannot tell you any bad points or negative points about this lens. This is a quite good lens, and today I took this lens and the bigger new lens 200 to 500 to the field and tried to capture a couple of egrets, because egrets in the paddy field, in rice field, it is challenging because the color of egret is white and paddy field is or the rice field is covered with green grasses and all. So to experiment the autofocus speed and the quality, so I thought that will be a good choice. So I took those two lenses to the field and captured few videos and photographs as well. We will discuss about those things later. And yes, this I'm talking about this lens. So it is now it is 770 mm, and if you open the front glass, it is 58 mm filter thread. You can add a 58 mm filter, and the back side is having a plastic cover like this, you can see. So yeah, this is it. And if you zoom in, so this is the maximum zoom you can do. It is 300 mm right now. So this is all about this lens. So let's talk about its bigger brother, what we purchased right now. So this is the lens, 200 to 500 mm lens. I created a video about it, my previous video. Those who have not seen that video, go and check that one. It has a tripod collar, means you can mount your lens the tripod, because initially with having the other lens, 70 to 300 mm lens, I am mounting my camera to the tripod, but with attaching with this lens, you do not have to mount your camera, you have to mount your lens to the tripod. And for that, Nikon has provided this tripod collar, and it is very good build quality, and you can remove as well. If you do not like to use it, you can remove it. Otherwise, you can have it with your lens, and you can take photographs mounting your lens to the camera with this collar. To give you one idea that what is the maximum magnification it can handle. So this is at the 200 mm. Now I am zooming it to 300 mm. Now it is 300, and now it is 400 mm, and now it is 500 mm. So till 500 mm you will get this amount of magnification, and the lens will expand like this. And if you zoom back it, so this is the size of the lens when it is at 200 mm. I captured few videos using VR and without VR. can see with VR the stability is good, it is looking too crisp, and this video is captured handheld, not with tripod. In between these two lenses, one thing I loved is it is having a fixed aperture. Fixed aperture means it is having the minimum aperture, it is 5.6, and it will continue having the 5.6 aperture until 500 mm, which is not available with this little guy. It is having a 4.5 mm aperture to 6.3 mm aperture. That means at 70 mm you will have it 4.5 mm aperture, and once you zoom it in at 300 mm the aperture will change to 6.3. As a result, what happens, more the aperture closes, means it is becoming 6.3, means you will lose a few amount of bokeh, the depth of field will decrease some point, and light also decreases, exposure also decreases at some point. So to compensate that, you have to either decrease the shutter speed or you have to increase the ISO. You are increasing the ISO with your lower model DSLR cameras. What will happen, it will increase the noise, so you will end up with a good quality image with lots of artificial grains. So that is a problem with zoom lenses which have variable apertures, but this time Nikon did it very well, giving the aperture fixed, means at 5.6 mm aperture, from 200 mm to 500 mm you can have your aperture at 5.6. That's why I love this lens, but I do not, in that way, I also do not say that this is a bad lens with having 4.5 to 6.3 variable apertures, but still you can see I have taken a quite number of good images, sharp images and clear images with it. Both lenses work very well with VR. Both lenses are sharp. Both lenses are capable of providing you images from corner to corner, crisp and sharp quality images. And one more thing is, this lens is for DX bodies like crop framed cameras, and this can work with crop frame camera and full frame bodies as well. So if you are going to buy any DSLR camera, it's okay, and if you are purchasing any mirrorless camera, or you have any mirrorless camera, you can use this lens with that also. For that you need to buy one FTZ adapter which is available, or if you already have the FTZ adapter, go and try this lens. It works very well. On in this video I have used autofocus of continuous autofocus, and I have used a single point autofocus, and also I have tried 3D tracking autofocus, and you can see how fast it is focusing from back to front. There are birds at back and there are bird at the front also. I was trying to capture it using this autofocus, continuous autofocus, so it was working very well. You can see the speed of the autofocus, it is too fast, and you will not get any lack of focusing. It is not losing focus at all. It is very good at capturing the focus that you can see from this video. Also, I have tried using this 70 to 300 mm. Its autofocus is also quite good. I have captured so many birds in flight and all from photographs and videos. It never loses the focus. So what I am suggesting is, if you are an amateur photographer, amateur wildlife or nature photographer, and you are just starting your hobby or passion as a photography, and you do not have a lot of budget, means around 80 to 90k to invest, so easily you can go with this lens. This is a very good quality lens. This is very compact and lightweight. You can carry it throughout the day and you will not get bored. If you are having a crop frame body, this lens will work as a 450 mm, because the crop frame sensors are 1.5x crop sensors, so you will get another 1.5x zoom with this lens. And using the 200 to 500 mm lens, you will get around easily 650 to 670 mm with using this lens. So if you are a crop frame user, you will feel that you are getting extra 1.5x crop. So if your budget is around in between 1 lakh, you can choose this lens easily. So this is my this is my experience with these both two lenses. So I hope you have watched the video till now and you like the video, and I tried to explain about autofocus. I tried to explain about PER quality and its sharpness, both the lens and the comparison of both the lens at field as well. So just comment me if you like this video, or if you want any more informations about those two lenses. I'll try to cover that up. And thank you for watching my videos, and do subscribe if you have not subscribed, and if you have subscribed, please share my videos and write back to me how you like this episode, and what else you want to learn or observe. And also do put in a comment box which images you liked, or if you have any suggestions and if you have any thoughts, you can share those with me. I will implement those in my next videos. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for upcoming episodes. Happy clicking. Thank you.